So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Here in Mumbai, India, it's evening. So good evening, everyone. My name is Love Trivedi, and I am IBDP CAS coordinator at DSB International School, Mumbai. It's a German school. I am also teacher of physics, and I have experience in mathematics and design technology as well. I am also an IBDP World Studies Extended Essay Examiner, Design Technology Examiner, and IGCSE Examiner. That was a brief description about me. So I am sharing a link in the chat box. While others are joining, we are admitting them. You can just go to that particular Padlet and locate yourself, and you can write about yourself in that particular Padlet. So when I share my screen, you will come to know more about it. But in the meantime, you can start with the process so that it won't take much time. Yeah, so introduce yourself in the Padlet link, which is available in the chat box. I it would be better if you mute yourself. So I would like to know who everybody is, something about you. Second thing which I would like to know about you is where are you coming from and what other subject other than CAS you are interested in, and why did you choose CAS? That is the second thing which I would like to know. Why was CAS so much important for you? So it would be good if you briefly describe why you choose to be a CAS coordinator or a CAS advisor, and something about your interests, hobbies, and what is your motto of life. One liner motto of your life. I have already added mine, so if you just go through it, you can find mine. So will wait for 2 more minutes for everyone to join, and then we'll begin. In the meantime, you can go to the Padlet and just start filling the details. Even I'll go to the Padlet.
But I'm finding it difficult to fill the details. Please
Yeah,
guide me.
yeah, I'll just help you. So this is the Padlet that you would be seeing right now. So what you have to do is, can you see add post on the right hand side, a plus sign? You just need to click on that.
No, sir, I'm not getting that.
So can you see my screen? So if you just search your location, say,
Yeah, I'm in Mumbai, sir.
so say I'm just choosing Kolkata, it will directly take me to that particular place. Then this is where I'll fill my details. If you want to add some pictures, some link about you, yourself, or some
Uh-huh.
additional things, you can write here. So whatever you want to type,
Okay,
you can type here. And whatever you want to upload, you can upload from this particular link.
fine, sir. I'll try.
So it's the plus sign. The link for the Padlet can be found in the comment section. I'll repost it.
Okay, comment section. All right, the Padlet is here.
So those of you who have joined now, so there is a small activity which is going around is, there is a link in the comment section which you can find. So that is a Padlet. You can go to that link and I'll show you how to fill the details. But in the meantime, you can click on the link and access that particular Padlet.
So what do we do with the Padlet? What, do we write something? We introduce
Yeah,
ourselves?
describe yourself. So I'm just, I'll brief that particular thing in 30 seconds. I'm waiting for few more to add. So I've already briefed others. So I'll just wait for 30 more seconds because people are still joining. I'll share my screen and I'll show you what has to be done. In the meantime, you can just access the Padlet. So this is the Padlet that you are seeing. So to add any particular details about yourself, the details which I specifically want to know is who are you, what is your name, where you belong, which particular location are you from, what are your interests, hobbies, and a personal motto in life in one line. And also if you can tell me something about why did you choose CAS as a subject. So to add any location, you can see a plus mark here, an icon, a tab which says plus. If you click on it, you just need to add your location. So search for any location wherever you are. So if I type Mumbai and I choose my particular location, it will directly take me to the Mumbai. And whatever I need to type, I type here. And this is the space wherein we upload things. So the today's session will be briefly about how I carry out CAS program in my particular school. I changed the entire CAS program. I was given the liberty by my school to develop the CAS program, and I chose to come up with my innovative ideas. So, and it is beautifully working for me. So I would like to share with you how things are going with me. So I'm going to take you through the process of how I execute CAS in my particular school and with my student. And later we'll have a span of 10 minutes to discuss how you all are doing or conducting CAS in your school. And we can also have Q&A sessions to discuss any further queries, or if we need any webinars in future, we can definitely talk about that. So right now, what we'll do is we'll just begin. So I hope you might have introduced yourself. So I'll go through the Padlet and I'll come to know who are you. And in the comment section, if you want to talk with each other, if there are some questions, you can always ask. I'll later on go through the chat and I'll find you and I'll email you if there is something important which I have missed. So just to take you through the journey, what does a DP core mean? So DP core consists of extended essay, TOK, and CAS. So the entire ideology of IB behind introducing the CAS, the core program was there should be a holistic relationship between TOK, CAS, and extended essay. When I say a coherent relationship, I do not mean it's exactly similar, that you need to use some sort of extended essay into the CAS or some sort of TOK into the CAS. What I'm trying to say here is IB has a common goal of developing a student and preparing him or her for 21st century skills. So we should use this particular core element as a primary tool to execute learner profiles and ETL skills. So support the interconnectedness of learning, support concurrency of learning, IB continuum of education and learner profile. So all the learner profile attributes gets easily qualified if we do a proper CAS program, and students always get an opportunity to go beyond their subject disciplines. What their subject guide tells you is a subject or a concept outline, syllabus outline. But what would you do with those particular concepts? Are there any practical possibilities that you can incorporate physics with CAS or chemistry with CAS or history with CAS? So I came up with a very good idea that each and every subject in my school will have to come up with a certain CAS activity which directly relates to one of the students. So if my student is taking physics HL, the teacher who is acting as a supervisor will definitely come up with a strategy to help CAS program. So I'll speak about it when we go ahead. So as I said, coherence doesn't mean similarity. Extended essay and CAS are two different things. What I'm trying to say is we just need to incorporate them to meet the common goals. All the three elements of course should be grounded. So we should support, the students should support us, and as a learner, they have certain expectations from supervisors. So how do we guide our students is the most important thing. So all the subject teachers should motivate students that CAS is an important aspect. It's not just a random topic which is not graded. So the importance of CAS goes away because it's not graded. But if you don't do a successful CAS, you don't get an IB diploma. So subject teachers plays an important role when you want to facilitate CAS in your school. And there are few aims of the DP CAS which we as coordinators or supervisors should keep in mind. Each and every student should not be forced to do any of the CAS experiences. They should significantly enjoy whatever CAS they are doing. May it be creativity, activity or service, they should enjoy it. There should not be any kind of force. Yes, you definitely ask students to go beyond their comfort zone, push their limits. That will definitely help them, but they should enjoy it. They should not just do the particular activity for the sake of completing a CAS experience. They should reflect upon their experiences at each and every stage. If they don't reflect, they won't come to know where they are and where they will land up. If they reflect at each and every stage, they can modify their profile of learning CAS through 18 months. They should always identify goals. So whenever I introduce CAS, or whenever a student is coming with a proposal that I want to carry out this particular creativity activity or a service, they have to fill up a section on a CAS proposal form known as goals. What are your goals? What do you think you want to achieve? And in the end, do you think you will be able to achieve? And what are the resources that you would need to achieve these goals? Then they come up with a strategy planning document wherein they need to show me what they are going to do, how they are going to plan their project or a CAS activity. And then comes the personal growth of the candidate. In the third CAS interview, we speak about the personal growth, what they have achieved. They can always explore new possibilities like scuba diving, skydiving if they have never done it before. Obviously, the consent of parents is very important in this particular part. So what happens holistically is they participate in a planned, sustained and a collaborative CAS project in the end. So throughout their 18-month journey, they have to do one CAS project for sure. So each and every candidate should do a common CAS program if possible. They should have a lead role in that particular project. Understand they are members of local and global communities. So we have responsibility towards the environment. So it's better if we relate our CAS services to sustainable goals as well. What I do to facilitate CAS is important right now for me to tell you, because you can always guide me whether it is working for you, or we can always modify this as well. So the first thing which we do in our school is whenever the grade 11 students come to IB, in their first week, the first weekend, we take them for an experiential learning. We take them outdoors to a place where there is no network, there is poor network connectivity. What happens is, and we introduce DP core. So extended essay, TOK, and CAS, each of this component is introduced in that particular location. And those particular locations are, we have already planned some team building activities. So these students, see, there would be few students who are coming from IGCSE, they would be together, but some new students who would have joined this particular batch. So there is a good team building activities which they start knowing each other. And there is a creativity task. There are service opportunities which they do. So they go for a small hike, and while going on a hike, they pick up the dust and the plastics which are present there, so which is helping. So we don't tell them or we do not guide them what they are particularly doing right now. We just ask them to do this particular certain activities. Once they have done the activities, there are reflections on the last day. So on the first day, we'll introduce IB learner profile. We have systematic arrangements that we do not introduce extended essay and CAS together. There's always a time gap or an activity plan between the two sessions which we are going to have. So the first session which our IB coordinator takes, it's on IB learner profiles, the learner attributes. What is the importance of learner profiles? What are the ETL skills? So students get a hang of this. Okay, we are going to learn about this particular part. Then they go out for a activity wherein we have two team building activity, wherein each and every student is responsible for completing that activity. We do not tell them what that activity is going to lead them to, but we ask them to just complete this activity. After that, we'll again have one session with them on extended essay, or sometimes on TOK. Then we again have activities, then they go, and so that day ends, we only have three sessions per day. On the next day, we'll go for a hike. Students pick up the plastic, clean the surfaces, and if they see something is not good for the environment, they try to clean it up. Then we come back, then we, on the second day, second session is CAS. There will be 3 sessions of CAS, but we do not introduce CAS session on the first day because we want them to complete few activities, few creativity tasks. So the creativity task which I assigned them is, I gave them pipes, plastic pipes of different sizes and different angles of pipes. So 45 degree, 90 degree, and 45, 90 and 60 degree pipes. And I asked them to use their thinking skills, their creativity skills, and make something from them. I told them you will also be given wires and you will also be given lamps. So they have to make some creative lamp. I show them what I have made in the beginning, so they get an idea what they could make. So this kind of creativity task helps students to explore their thinking and actually work, do an hands-on task with creativity. So activities are already done. We also do creativity, and services are also done on the first 2 days. Then we go back to the CAS. We introduce learning outcomes. What are CAS? What is creativity? What is activity? What is service? And while explaining that particular CAS, I relate all the activities, creativity tasks, and service opportunities which they have done on the first day. So they could relate directly rather than having a boring session in school which they can't relate it to. Oh, we have to do this. I don't know anything about this. So whenever I introduce, they know, oh, we did this task. This is the learning outcome which I achieved, and this is what we have done. And we also give them reflection sheets after each and every activity, which just says, what do you think this activity is about and what did you learn from this activity? So whenever I'll have a reflection session on a particular CAS activity, they'll come to know what they wrote and what did they learn. They match it with the learning outcome. Then once we come back to school, I introduce them with various documents. If you are using ManageBack, then we take them through the entire process of ManageBack. Or I use Google Drive. I had used ManageBack in the past, but our school just stopped using ManageBack this year. And we started with a manual CAS recording document using G Suite. So I have a particular drive created for each and every batch. I have a folder for each and every student with their independent folders of creativity, activity, service, and project. And they are preloaded with the different templates of the document: creativity document, activity document, and service planning document, along with the supervisor and the advisor report documents. So we take them through all the documents slowly, and they get a hang of, okay, we are going to make a copy of these documents, we are going to load it in our Google Drive, and there is a common document shared with all the students and our principal, wherein we can see what they are doing throughout these 18 months. So they have to go there, they have to highlight the activities which they are doing. If it is completed, it will be marked as green. If it is not completed, it is marked as red. If it is ongoing, it is marked as yellow. So I created a common document, which I'll show you after this slide. And then once they are okay with the document, we just ask them to make a shared document and come up with possible creativities, activities, and service that they wish to do or they wish to carry out in the school environment or outside the school. So then I come up with a CAS first interview, wherein I want to know my students better. At this experiential learning trip, I have already known my students. I want to know them one individually now. So I'll have an interview session wherein I'll have few framed questions and I'll try to know what is the interest of my student. And accordingly, I can suggest him shortly. We can shortlist what creativity, which activity, and which service is best for the student. And I also tell them the services are of two types, direct and indirect. There are certain students who do not wish to go to kennels to help wild animals, or they do not want to go out and like make their hands dirty. Definitely we motivate them to do a common project, but still for such students we come up with an indirect service, and there are other indirect opportunities which we ask students to explore. So this is the good place wherein we can ask students to start with C, A, and S. They have a framed mindset at this particular session. So even I also know, oh, this student will be able to do this particular part. He is good at football, so he should do football as his activity. So I come to know my students very well in my first interview. Then I have meeting with the teachers, the subject teachers, and I ask subject teachers to come up with the different ideas of how what CAS opportunities they can offer. So our school runs lunchtime ECA, extracurricular activities, and post-school extracurricular activities. So if some teachers wants to do some creativity session, or they want to come up, say for example, photography lessons by a teacher who is experienced into photography, so she'll run a photography club. Then there are students who run math club for a competitive examination. One of the student was teaching younger students the mathematics for UKMT maths challenge. So these are the various opportunities which each and every department comes up, and we have brainstorming sessions on these activities. And students give lunch. So once a week or twice a week, students will select what they want to do during lunchtime, or they want to spend doing some activities after school. So for example, football is always after school. All these sports activities are mainly scheduled after the school, so that they can carry out they get a bigger time interval to practice these things. So after the first CAS interview, we allocate the candidates to their respective supervisors. So as I said, we have in-school ECA. We also say, for example, one of the student wants to run an F1 in schools competition. So he needs a trainee. So we also allow trainers to come from outside and take a session with students. May it be a creativity session or a service session. I also meet different NGOs. I have collaborated with different NGOs, and we do a common project every year in our school, which is known as a Christmas Carnival, wherein we invite all the NGOs. We have various events, and all the parents also have a cooking fair, wherein they cook something from their house and they bring it to the Christmas market, and they sell it at a higher price. And whatever the funds are raised, we give it to this particular NGOs. And every year we have a common goal of giving this sponsorship to a particular NGO. So this year we wanted to give it to a beach cleanup guy, Malhar Kalambe, who runs a club known as Beach Please, and he cleaned tons and tons of plastic from the Mumbai beaches. So we encourage this young guy who is just 22 years old. So we raised almost 2 or 3 lakh rupees for him to run his campaign very smoothly. Then these are the CAS projects wherein I tell students that you can do whatever kind of CAS project, you can run whatever kind of event you want to run in this 18 months. You have to plan whether you want to do your CAS project in the first month, in the the December or January, or you want to do it at the end of the 18-month period. So there are the slots given for the CAS project. These are the possible weeks which you can choose for your CAS projects. Accordingly, students come up with various opportunities. So TEDx at DSB International was started by a student. A student came up to us and I want to start TEDx in our school. So we allowed student to carry out this particular event, and entire work was done by student and the supervisor. So principal and the schools will always guide them what has to be done, but all the process, all the event and everything was carried out by students, right from fundraising to organizing, planning and running the event. All the teachers are free on that day. Teachers don't do any particular duty on that day. Teachers are invited as a special guest to enjoy the event, and they see what their students have done. So that is how I introduce CAS program. And the importance of CAS project to my students is told by this particular process diagram. So I tell them CAS project is an ongoing thing. It's not like that you have to complete it in a day or two. It can go for months as well. So you think what kind of projects you want to do. So I give them certain ideas. We do few brainstorming sessions. Then we take permissions. Say, for example, if you want to run an event outside the school, then you need particular permission. So a student wanted to run a dog fair wherein he wanted all of his friends to bring their pets to this particular event and raise funds for this particular uh, institute known as Welfare of Stray Dogs. So this kind of events are unique, and we always allow students based on the permissions that they get from the NGOs and the particular state board. Then they improvise. They come up with their plan. We tell them how to improvise on those plans, and entire fundings are done by students themselves. School initially will say we are not going to fund you for your event. It's better if you learn how to market your event, how to get sponsorships and everything. But if at all we see student is not able to get funds, then school definitely pays. But 99% times student definitely comes up with a sponsorship which is not from his or her family. It comes from some companies or like that. So they always plan their event. When they are planning, there are certain kind of documentations and presentations which they have to show, which gets approved, which gets modified. Then once they get a green signal for their plan, they execute their plan. While executing, supervisors and coordinators, we play a vital role, because these are kids. Sometimes some things go wrong and they hesitate. They just feel very much negative. This is where we stay with the students to motivate them. It's okay, sometimes things go wrong. Then we ask them to reflect on it. What were the successes? What were the failures? What do you think you could have improved? Are there any more opportunities that you can spend in this particular project? Or are there any opinions that you can give it to your juniors who can improvise on this particular event? So they measure their success on a scale of 1 to 10, and they give a justification of this particular thing. Then this is the motto of our school, which says growing learning minds. So you should go ahead and have an experience. It's a wonderful experience of CAS that you are experiencing right now. Review it, reflect on it. What do you think can be happen, and what can you learn from this particular thing? And the most important thing is plan. If you plan your things properly, the 18 months will be a very good experiential learning, a very good experience in your creativity, activity and services, which you will remember for your entire life. So overall, giving a brief scenario, the execution of CAS for me goes like this: build a very strong base. So introduce CAS in such a way that it creates an impact in the mind of students before they interact with their seniors, before they meet, before they get views of other teachers and colleagues saying, oh, CAS is just like this, it's not good. Take them out in the first, isolate them from their group in the first week and build a very strong base, motivate them. We also give them examples like how university people appreciate a very good CAS program. If your portfolio is very strong, your interview always you spend more time describing your CAS work in your interviews. So one of the students came to me last year and she was like, I went for an Oxford interview and my entire interview went in discussing F1 in school competition. They were not able to understand how could this particular STEM competition be a CAS. It met creativity, activity, and service for each of the parts. So it's good to tell some stories to students, the success stories. Then CAS interviews and CAS learning is very important phase, which I feel this is the middle phase is the phase where student develops many kind of skills and you are there to evaluate those skills. And the final portfolio. Now, how do I present my final portfolio is I tell students you can create a website, you can create a video, you can create a clip art, you can have characters running on the camera and you can narrate those particular things. So students have been doing many different kind of portfolios. Then I have a CAS evening after their final exams or just 1 month before the final exams, wherein all the parents and the community members from our school are invited for this event. We promote this event very well. And this is the event where each and every student is going to present what they have done in their 18 months. Also, there will be in the last thing of this particular session will be, we'll have a panel which will comprise of parents, principal, and everyone who are going to conduct an very interesting third CAS interview wherein we have an interactive session. And this has been going very well. If I went through the guide wherein it clearly states it's very good if you showcase what you are doing in your CAS to the community. So I came up with this strategy and it is working really well. Even parents are loving it, why my child is doing this particular creativity task, activity task, and service task. And other ways to tell the communities, we have communicators wherein each and every student is told that you have to give some one or the other article along with the evidence of what you are doing in CAS, and it should go in the communicator. So we have weekly communicators in the school and students. And now the CAS work is so popular that we have a separate section known as CAS at BSB. Then website, Facebook. So social media plays a vital role to reach out to the community and tell them what they are doing. What I like the most is my CAS evening because entire community is present. Students feel really motivated to explain how much hard work they have done through these 18 months. Because there are kids who record entire Harry Potter book series for blind school students. Now, where will they showcase this? They have donated this book to the blind school. So this is the space wherein they could show, oh, I did this much work. I started like this, but I faced so many difficulties, and ultimately I landed up getting a very good result and feel so good doing such kind of service. So right now I would leave the podium open for discussion. We can have a discussion. I would really like to know how you are running CAS in your school, and you can also reflect upon my ideas, what you feel about this. So it's open, yes. So you will have to unmute yourself and speak.
Thanks, sir.
Hi. So any questions? Anyone would like to say how they are running CAS in their school? Or reflect
Hi,
on what?
how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Thank you for sharing all of your ideas. That's really interesting. I like that you start off with kind of a mixer idea or outside of the school environment and get them kind of immersed in CAS before they know that they're actually immersed in CAS.
Yeah. Thank you for this.
We do something similar. We did something similar, not every year. We did something one year. It was very successful. So that's a good idea to kind of have it continuing each year. It's nice to get them excited in the beginning. And the other thing that I found is maybe where I made mistakes in the first few years of CAS was not listening to the students about what they wanted to do. You know, listening to them, but kind of trying to persuade them to do bigger or more than what they were really interested in doing. So I think as the years have gone by, I listen to the students more and really pay attention to what they're saying that they are interested in. And then it's a lot less following up, what are you doing, because they want to be doing it. So this has been the one thing that I've found over the years with CAS.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Because what I have seen interact with my students is students have so many innovative and creative ideas that it works really well. So this year, there are a group of students who want to run a state level competition. They want to come up with a competition of football. So I told them, plan an intra-school thing first, run your competition in the school first. If it works well, then we'll reach out to the community, we'll reach out to the other schools. We'll have a collaborative meeting with all the school coordinators. We'll request all the coordinators to send your teams to participate in our event. And this is an event which will be like a English Premier League, wherein you will have to continue playing for a year, and ultimately you'll end up getting a cup or something. So the major part in this was students will have to be very much focused in planning and organizing such events.
Hi, for me, we can't go out for 2-3 days. We can't get government permission to take students out of school, out of their homes on buses and things. So what I did was an evening of barbecue with the seniors, introducing everything to the juniors, what they found difficult, what they worked with. They would do a talent show every year, and they'd hand that over to the juniors. Seniors obviously go on with the MUN conference, the school conference. We do a conference every year, and they're in charge of that, the Secretary Generals, the topics. Even if they're not interested in MUN, they can actually take part in the organizing and the setup and stuff like that. So these are good activities that they all work together in projects.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, hi, this is Shameen.
Hi.
Hello. I would like to bring to everybody's notice that in creativity, I'm teaching the students embroidery.
Okay.
So that is a very different strand, and it's an ongoing experience. So I teach them the stitches, and we have this thing where we keep all their stuff. After about maybe 6 to 8 months, we keep all their stuff like caps. They embroider caps, they embroider tablecloths and cushions, and they make anklets. So all this they keep where we have our Le Bazaar or some school show, and we have a stall there, and then they are sold to parents and outsiders, and then all the money goes to an NGO. So I've been doing this since the last 2 months.
Okay. I find it very much interesting. It's very creative, and it's a good service as well. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I would like to share something. In my previous school, we arranged a talent contest. So the students of grade 11 and student council, they wanted to organize a talent show for the school, so that students could showcase whatever talent they have to the school community. So what we did was during the lunch break, we had auditions. So we had a couple of teachers to help with the auditions, but the organization of all the auditions and getting the students to sign up and everything, that was done by the DP students. And after that, we organized the stage for them. We have a CAS budget, so we utilized that CAS budget, and we invited the teachers, the parents and the teachers to come and watch the talent contest. So that was one thing. Also, our lunch break is for 50 minutes. So what the students do is that they organize a football league. So it's like it's not an inter-school or inter-house, but it is like a football league where students make their own groups. Teachers also have their group, and they have matches. and then we have a rotating cup. So that is also a part of the CAS activity that the students, grade 11 DP1 students organize for activity.
Yeah.
These two are the things that we do very well, in my previous school we used to do.
No, they're worth noting. Yeah, definitely. I'll try. Because the thing is, in this lockdown period, nobody's talking about CAS. So I thought, like, why not have a session with all the teachers and see what they are doing in CAS and what are the various opportunities we can offer to the students in this particular time. And it's really interesting. The talent thing is nice. I liked it. Thank you.
Hi, Love.
Hi.
I'm Radha. Hi, everybody. I'm Radha from Mumbai. I'm very glad that this is happening because I know as CAS supervisors and coordinators, it's something that's left for the last, and everybody's busy with their eyes and all that. I have 2 more team members in this meeting, so I'm happy that 3 out of 5 of us are here. So thank you for all the ideas that you shared, and we do have a very systematic plan in place for CAS, and it's a combination of both ongoing projects that we plan in school, and we also have individual standalone activities that students do. And we also encourage them to take initiatives, so student-led activities. So there are 3 broad categories that we look at. And the question I want to put across to all of you over here is that, how do you decide how much CAS is enough CAS? This is my 2nd year as a CAS supervisor and first year as a coordinator. And this is one question which comes to us always, that how much CAS is enough CAS? So if anybody can throw light on that, I would love to know.
I think I'm not a CAS coordinator, and I was an MYP coordinator, so I was looking at service as action. So I know that in CAS you have your learning outcomes. So maybe you decide CAS activity you want, but those have to be fulfilled in the learning outcomes, right? That is my understanding.
And what I do is basically I tell my students for this 18 months, there should be some creativity activity or service which should be ongoing, and for each C, A and S you should meet all the learning outcomes, and it is always better if you do more CAS. Try to motivate them doing more CAS in their first year, and that is where my teachers play a very important role. They come up with various activities and various creative ideas, and this has helped me to meet all the learning outcomes, as well as an ongoing CAS program, because you are offering something during lunchtime or after the school. You are offering some opportunities in the school itself, so students are already present. They are going to sign up for one of the other events, and we tell parents also, motivate your child to sign up for the CCAs, because it will help them in getting their CAS done. And this happens for 18 months. So I have hardly had students who is not doing any of the activities or creativities. And we also have planned service programs, but I also keep it open in the beginning to the students, because I really like ideas of these youngsters. They come up with really interesting ideas. So it's better if I explore their ideas first.
Okay.
Hi everyone. I would like to answer the question raised by Jenna in the chat. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Integration of CAS with DP. So I don't do CAS primarily, but last year when we were doing CAS in our school, the project was related to adopting dogs and cats and everything. And I am primarily a psychology teacher, and how I integrated was, at that time we were doing biases, we were doing cognitive biases. So my kids went around during the fair and before the fair and made presentations about what kind of biases would stop us from adopting a stray or a particularly Indian breed or our local dogs, as opposed to purebred dogs and all of that. And language teachers did an integration in that too. They had them make these posters in 3 to 4 different languages. So kids did the posters in Hindi, in French, and in Spanish. So there was an integration of language, and then we celebrated the language day with this as well. Of course, there were other things that language day did, but we did like a three-way integration when we were doing this. So yeah, we did that.
So coming to that DT question, I am also helping DT department in my particular school. So what they, one of the good ideas was whenever we have any kind of competitions in school, so along with the certificate, all the prizes, small mottos are given and made by DT students. So we have various things. So DT students take up CAS in this way. They come up with different ideas. So students who are graduating, we want to give them some mementos. So this DT students plan, they make a very small beautiful trophy with their pictures in it, so they design and model everything like this. So DT, yes, we can obviously use subjects in this. Nice. Any other questions? This is the
Yes,
best
sir.
to discuss.
So I'm Jyoti here. So I'm
Right.
also from Goldcrest, as Radha and Shamim were there from our, like we are the team. What I started is like when we had a school venue, we never had a green environment out there. So we started with the herb gardening, then butterfly gardening, and then now we have landed up a beautiful garden where all the children are coming and having their lunch in the lunch break, and as well as we have started indoor plants now.
Okay.
So indoor plants is a project like, because we are in the AC schools, so there's a lack of oxygen. We are facing those things, and now the things are coming up. They are coming up with the plants in each room, each plant. So now the children are taking care and all. Everything is going on well, and they are enjoying that.
That's nice.
That
One
initiative is for the environment's sake, yeah. And the
of,
other thing which we started was the joy of giving.
okay.
Being a joy for giving month, so we started collecting books, stationeries, old clothes, which are wrapped in a nicely gift wrapped things with the chocolates on top, and the age and the criteria was written on that, and we distributed among the needy people.
Oh.
So like children who receive should feel it, the excitement of opening it. It's not like the clothes we are giving it or giving away, but the children had the giving of gesture was itself is a beautiful gesture which I found in children. They started collecting. One of the child collected almost 20 pairs of her shoes.
Yeah.
And then she distributed it. So certain things they made them happy, and I feel this is the best
thing.
way to help the community
Yeah.
in the right way.
Yeah, here in Mumbai there is a cafe run by not called disabled peoples, but they are very good people, very old people. So they serve you food, they make sandwiches. So we took we want to take our students to that particular place, and we want students to help them. So we are going to eat definitely. First thing which we go do there is we eat, we order food, we raise money from them. But second thing which we do is we wash our own plates, we help them, we talk with them. So they feel so good. Even in earlier school where I was working, we used to go to an old age school, old age house, and this old age people, when they interact with youth, they just break their hearts out. They just talk like, they just go on forever. They hug you, they want to dance with you, they have poetries for you, they have so many things to do with you. So service like this obviously tells students, develops empathy within them.
Sir,
Yeah,
can you
that
tell us where this is in Mumbai?
Definitely, I'll upload it on the.
Is it an old age home?
No.
Is it an old
Is
age
that
home?
the restaurant called Mirchi and Mime? There is one called Mirchi and Mime also.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you're
Okay.
talking about the same one.
No. I'm not.
Mumbai? Is it Mumbai?
Yeah, it's Mumbai.
Yes, I'm talking about Mumbai.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
thank
I
you.
do,
Thank
I
you.
have already created a common drive, and I am going to load all the documents that I am using in that drive. I have already loaded few workshop documents inside that drive, so I'm resharing that link. There is a common doc in this particular drive. So what I am going to do is I'll update the name of the this particular cafe in that, along with its location and the contact details. I also have contact details of various NGOs. So if you want to do a collaborative project with them, you can definitely approach them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And one
Can we
interesting
talk about reflections?
Can you come again?
Can we talk about the number of reflections that you require your students within the entire 18 months? Do you set specific number of reflections, let's say 10 reflections for the entire DP years, like the 2 years?
So what?
How do you set the reflection task?
So one thing which I do is I tell them I need 3 important reflections, like brief, not the brief reflections, the proper reflections with learning outcomes and everything. So the first reflection while proposing an activity, second reflection while you are doing the activity, you already spent enough time doing that particular CA or S, and the last one would be the service. Last one would be the once your activity is done, you reflect entirely on the process. So these are the 3 reflections which I definitely need, and they can also produce other reflections in the meantime. And if it is managed back, you can obviously keep on asking for more reflections. But I would like to hear from other teachers as well what they are doing.
Hello.
Hi.
Feel free to speak. Nice to meet you, everyone. I just wanted to say that we use ManageBack. I'm based in Poland, Wrocław, and I actually ask all my students to write some reflection on every experience they have. So within the 18 months, they have loads of reflections. Sometimes they're small, they're brief, they're just one paragraph, because when the experience is something that took them a day or a weekend, one paragraph is enough. When it's a CAS project, I require like pre-reflection, reflection during the process, and also post-reflection. Yeah, I agree, they hate it, but as I learned during the IB training I had for CAS, this is our responsibility to teach them how to reflect properly, how to organize their thoughts, their emotions. And I talk to students individually. I read their reflections. I talk to them about their reflections, and I help them out. And then in the second year of DP, they know how to do it. They come to terms with the fact that they have to do it, and they're getting better at it, because yeah, the reflection is the key. They do it to understand themselves better, and they need to be able to see that. They don't just do the things because the things needs to be done. They do it to gain something for themselves as well. Yeah, and that's the ability to reflect, not just the skill. That's how I understand it. Thank you.
It's pretty clear. Yeah, thank you for this.
Hello, sir. This is Rajagopal.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So actually, I'm going to take charge of next year in DP as a this one. Already I've joined as a coordinator. Here I want to know the risk management. How to handle the risk management when we are organizing the CAS activities and everything. Could you please?
Yeah. Yeah, so what we do in our school is we have a risk assessment process already going on. So even if student is stepping out of the school during the school hours, or I am taking student for some particular activity, or whether a student is proposing C, A or S, in that proposal, they'll also have to fill out the risk assessment form. And there is a entire risk assessment drive shared with the students. They'll have to give enough evidence that the process is not that risky. And second thing, there is a consent of their parents as well, that they have gone through the entire process. Then I evaluate the entire risk assessment forms. I give them feedback if I find something is inappropriate. So this is how I take care of the risk assessment.
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting an idea to go about. Thanks for sharing.
I'll share the template in the drive.
Okay. Yeah. I'll thank you. I'll check it.
Yeah, sure.
And what they told us too a few times when we had this issue is common sense is key with risk assessment. If it's we do have a form and we go through it with the students, and we really haven't had any issues, but that it's common sense. I mean, if it's dangerous enough that
you
want them doing it, then you definitely wouldn't want them doing it for CAS.
Actually, yeah, what happens nowadays when we say not to do that, people are tempted to do that. So this kind of feeling is there. Yeah, that's the reason.
Could I share?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I share my screen, Love? Because
Yeah,
it's
please,
disabled.
please share.
It is disabled. It is disabled for participants. Can you enable, please?
I'll just see. Yeah, can you try now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I have a few things that I would like to share. First, I also recreated CAS when I started from last year. So what I did, because the forms are very random. So starting from handbook, I actually spent my summer doing this. So I recreated everything from handbook.
Yeah.
I also created a website that's dedicated for CAS. It's taking a while, but anyways. So where anyone who would be able to view this will see from the mission statement, profile, aims of CAS, all the forms. I also recreated all the forms, starting from proposal, supervisor evaluation, risk assessment, CAS log. The problem with us is we don't have manage back. So it's very difficult if we don't have a system in place to guide our students. So this is the reason why I recreated CAS entirely from, I don't know how it was working really in the past, but I cannot deal with hundreds of forms because there are so many kids that we need to support. So that's the reason why I made everything digital. So if you will notice that from the CAS proposal, it will just check if it's under creativity, activity, or service, or if they are hitting all these strands or two of them.
Yeah, same thing. I also have my handbook and everything. The moment my school got rid of manage back, I had to come up with a system. So I am going to take you through my CAS handbook and my forms as well. But this looks very good, very much organized on a particular website. So Google site.
Okay, so from after the proposal, there's also the risk management. And again, I made it super easy for them. It's just a checklist. So there's going to be a checklist, analysis, emergency contacts, and the reason of approving it or not.
Yeah.
And then there's the log sheet so that students will be able to put all their activities in there, the dates, the strands that they are hitting, a short reflection of their activity, because I just want for them to describe the activity in this part. And then there's the evaluation form is somewhat like the proposal, but there's a box for supervisor. This is going to happen if the proposal is approved.
Yep.
And then there's the final reflection. And then I make sure that there's the candidate, there's the parents, and that's my signature over there. And then I also have guidelines for interview, starting from before they start with the first interview, the second interview, and the third interview, because these are mandatory. So I make sure that the kids are prepared before all these 3 interviews.
Yeah. So what I have done is I have made my individual drive for this particular thing. It's not on a website. So I would just advise teachers who would like to do such things, we can always ask students to do this particular organization for your CAS coordinator, and it counts as an indirect service. A candidate helping the school in any kind of way is an indirect service.
Awesome. Okay. So all of my students have created their website as well. The thing with me is because I'm also doing digital learning, so I'm also the one running a session of how they can create a website and whatever form of website they would like. And I also have a template of what is an example website that they can do. So say, for example, if I click on this is linked to the website of the child, which I facilitated at the beginning of the school year when I presented it to them, where the portfolio should have the personal profile at the beginning, there's pages for creativity, activity, service, the evaluation form, and then the final reflection of the child.
It's really good. Good work. So it's a creative skill developed by student as well.
Can I ask something to Tina?
Yeah.
Tina, do you get technology support?
I'm the technology support as well.
Lovely. I'm in West. Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah.
So she can make the website.
Yeah.
Yes. But you've really got a fabulous display and organization.
Tina,
I
help
also
us out.
Facebook?
Do your CAS and teach us also. To a CAS team, guide us how to go for it.
I think that you can ask one of the kids, because I'm sure that one of them is super creative and can take this on as a project.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the kids will be able to take this on as a project. So I have some exemplars that I am posting on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay. Just share the link, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to be sharing all these things. The other question was, I think I've seen someone asking about DP links. I did this session with my colleagues, those who are teaching group 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And then we came up with how can students have CAS experiences when they're doing history.
Yes.
And so these are some of the examples that we did. And then if, say, for example, they're doing this for humanities, history and humanities, what are the sample projects or experiences that the students will have? And then this will go under creativity and service. Or some of our students are hosting book buddy or book club. And we also support some government schools where they are coming to our school using our facilities. And our students will host different kinds of activities for them, either music, sports, literacy clubs, swimming, or whatever they are passionate about. Because what we would like is for them to really conduct projects that they are really interested, they are skilled, or they would like to develop more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and for I'm gonna echo what Love mentioned, where senior students are presenting to other students. We have something like that. We have like a CAS fair, but then seniors are presenting to grades 10 and 11, so that grades 10 are actually getting ready and having some ideas of how they will be able to develop their own CAS projects when they go to grade 11. Yeah, so those are my ideas.
They are really good. Well presented and well organized.
Sharing, Tina.
I'm gonna share this link to you guys so that you can see the whole thing.
Great, thank you.
At the very beginning of the website, I also posted the CAS calendar and major deadlines. So this is like our diary, where by the month of August, what are the things that you need to do if you're grade 11 or if you're grade 12? By September, what are we meant to do by October? And then they should be able to follow through with this. Otherwise, I'm checking on with them and say, in which part of this are you at? Have we finished this? I also have a checklist of who's done with interview 1, 2, 3, who's done with the proposals, who's done with their CAS fair, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then this is the presentation that I am doing at the beginning of the school year, where I present to parents and to students and also to my colleagues, so that we are in the same page, knowing that this is what's going to happen with CAS. This is what CAS is all about. Because the thing is, some of my colleagues, especially the new ones, will say, I don't really have a clue what is CAS. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we deliver a session to our colleagues as well, to our community, and then to our students.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
I'm gonna share this to the document that Love has shared with us.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
It was a really good presentation, how to organize the entire CAS. So if you organize your CAS well, this is how it looks. Even students come up with such kind of portfolios wherein the portfolios, so one of the computer science students came up with a software wherein he did not have any kind of technology in his hand. He developed a software in such a way that he just used to move his hand on right and entire slide used to change. He used to have gesture based programming. So it was really good to see those particular things. So yes, if it is organized well, it looks beautiful. And I've also shared
I have one query.
Yeah.
How many individual activities and how many ongoing should we do throughout the 18 months?
So as I said earlier, I make sure that students are doing CA or CAS for 18 months. It should be ongoing. The second thing which I tell them is, if you're doing your 18 months of creativity activity and service should not only be school based. You have to do something outside as well. So this indirectly
yes,
it double. So there are certain things which I tell students that you have to do, and ultimately they keep on changing things. But I do get a record of 18 months wherein they are doing most of the work. I also had a student who did football for 18 months, but he did an activity for 18 months, so it was counted. And outside he was just doing running club, so that was also fine because he used to present his mobile app wherein I could see the track where he while he was running. So he produced an evidence and it worked.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Tina, can you unshare the screen?
Sorry, am I still sharing? Sorry. I did not even notice that I'm still sharing. Yeah. Stop. Okay, done?
Okay, done. So, okay. So this is how I manage the data. I'll just show you one of the record document of grade 12 student. This is the batch which is completed their CAS. So this is how I have traffic signal and everything organized in draft. So initially they just put the names, and recently, so in the comment section, I wish to propose a writing project. So it's shared with coordinators also, so we can track whether student is doing some work or he is not doing. Then I have a communication document record wherein I record what student is doing. So whatever comes in communicator, I have a document, so I can put this thing entirely on my yearbook, and I can also share it with our marketing manager, who, however he wants to post it on Facebook, he can do it. But I like Tina's ideas to incorporate it within your directly. Any more questions? No, I think it went good. So if you have any queries, or if somebody wants to run a webinar, or if somebody wants to run webinar on some topics, you can always contact me on this particular email, or you can write it on a common document. I get a ping whenever anyone edit the particular document. So you can always keep in touch. We can have a sharing community built up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Trivedi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good luck to everybody.
Bye.